to go with 500 pages. So what we call is streamlining. We make sure we take out all the extra stuff that's in a report, and we just get down to the issues. Like if there's an issue with tribal consultation, because we also work with federal environmental, federal recognized tribes all over the United States. So if there's a Native American tribe that may have an issue with a project being done, we have to make sure that our upper management speaks to the tribal chief, so the tribal chief and the federal government, or FAA I should say in this case. They make sure they communicate and understand what we're going to do. And because historic preservation is very important, so we have to make sure that we preserve the Native American tribes and other historical preservation items that are maybe found on certain airports. I remember a few years ago when I first started to review like certain projects. I didn't get to, like in Chicago, they didn't send me up to Chicago right away because there was a big issue in Chicago when they built the Chicago O'Hare Airport. Is anyone familiar with Chicago O'Hare Airport? Okay, great. I was very shocked when I found this out because it wasn't really something that people just used to talk about it, but it was said that the Chicago O'Hare Airport was built on a cemetery for slaves. I was also told when they had a public meeting, now I didn't attend none of the public meetings there, so I was safe, that it got really heated and someone almost threw a chair at one of the like environmental specialists, our team from Chicago, not from headquarters now. So it really got very heated. So sometimes working with the public cannot always be as easy as we want it to be. It can get difficult, and that's one of our challenges that we have to face. Federal employees working with the public, we have to make sure that they're happy. If they're not happy, then we don't go through with the project. If they're happy, we go through with the project. And so my background, what I do is I also look at the endangered species found in the airport, or if there's hazardous materials found in the airport, like let's say heavy metals like mercury or arsenic, and if they need to do a cleanup on the airport, and then it's like within a report, then we need to do a cleanup. You know, we can't leave polluted items on the airport if we want to either extend the runway or build a new airport. We have to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row, because sometimes we have consultants that work with us, and then we have project managers that either have different opinions, so we have different personalities, different opinions that we have to work with. And the strength of my job, what I have to do is I have to be professional at all times. We may come in disagreement, sometimes arguments, which we try to avoid, but that comes with the territory. You know, we have our challenges, and the only thing that can strengthen our challenges is we maintain our professionalism, make sure that we respect one another, just like you have to do here when you work together as a group, right? So we face the same challenges as you do in school. It's just working with the airport sponsor who owns the airport. It can either be the city, the state, the county, and we work with our consultants and then our environmental specialists. And sometimes we may have to travel over time to certain meetings, because sometimes the meetings are not always held like where I live in Virginia. Sometimes we have to some specialists, not me, have to go as far as Alaska. Farthest I've been has been in New York, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Those are two locations I've been to. Then of course I've been to the local one in Dulles. But it's very interesting just to find out. Like I said, I have an environmental background. I have my doctoral degree in environmental chemistry, and I've always been interested in chemistry, environmental chemistry, because I want to know what can I do or inform others about how to keep our air clean, our water clean, and like indoor air and outdoor air. Because sometimes, you know, it's not always easy to inform people. Sometimes people may not believe you, like, oh, something wrong with the water or something wrong with the air. And we also have to consider air quality when we review our documents, because there might be certain airports that have to deal with, like air pollution. There may be too much air pollution on the airport. So we have to monitor those airports closely and make sure that like the emissions coming from the aircraft is not as high, because we had discovered there's lead in the aviation fuel, and that's another issue that we have to solve within our office and with FAA overall. So that's a big issue that we are looking at and addressing. We have to work with EPA, where my husband works. And also, if you have a passion for just being a part of the environment and want to clean and learn about like the different chemicals and metals that can affect us in the water and aquatic animals, which is aquatic animals, which is just fish. Because while I was in college, I did a study on arsenic contamination in the red crawfish that I'm from Louisiana, so I always loved crawfish. So while I was in college, I did a study on that. That helped me to boost and to gain my experience on learning more about the environment and heavy metals. So if you have a passion for wanting to do research on different environmental issues, because there's so many out there that you can discover and also get involved in. But it can be very interesting, especially working with airport. Like I have an environmental background, but I was very new to aviation and the operations on how they go about doing their projects. And if they're going to either build a runway or if they're not going to build it because of either the land or protection of the wetlands, because we all need like different streams. Sometimes we do need streams, sometimes we don't. And sometimes we fill it in if there's a really need for the runway, because our priority is safety at all airports. Too much time. Was I within the range?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely perfect.